Right back into it. Here we go. I say right back into it. It's quite literally been a week now. I did record this week's video last week, but I edited it, saved it, and then in deleting cuts and so on, I actually deleted the whole video. I was doing it in work on my lunch break and cocked it up. So there we are. Try it again. Laptop fan going off like a airplane engine, so hopefully the audio still comes out alright. So back to week 4, which is, I'm almost at the end of week 5 now, so catching up. I'll get there eventually. Day 1 squats, we did 170 kilos, 5 sets, 5 reps. These felt awesome. Looking back on it now, it still feels really nice. Very happy with how they went. Very fluid, very kind of easy on the way that they were. Very enjoyable. Then we did bench, 5 sets of 5, 100 kilos. Again, feeling quite simple, quite easy. The pain in my shoulder got a lot better. It was flaring up to like a 7 or 8 on week 3. It's actually come down now to more of like a 2 or a 3 on that particular session, which felt really good. The reps were really smooth. They felt really comfortable. Definitely had more in the tank. Yeah, absolutely felt great. Shoulder press, on the other hand, did not. 60 kilos, 3 sets, 7 reps. Just felt heavy. One of those days where you get in the gym and things, they don't go your way. Or particularly this session, this exercise didn't go my way. There was no real issues. I wasn't in pain. It just felt heavy, as it is. Maybe pre-exhausted from the bench on the 5x5s, but it was where it was. It was nothing special. Moved into bent over rows. These felt great. These were absolutely insane, to be honest. Really enjoyed these. Up 2.5 kilos on the week previously, moving comfortable. I've been going on it this entire time, trying to get back to that 90 kilos that I messed up so egregiously in the first week. And that was fine. We got there in the end. And then we did some weighted hyperextensions. I swapped the one dumbbell out. I was getting fed up of using a 40 kilo dumbbell, put it into 2 20 kilo dumbbells. I was able to get more range of motion, obviously because the dumbbells went bigger, and then by keeping them closer together, I was able to just find a better movement in the way that they were, because what I had been doing is trying to like hold one dumbbell in various different ways and it just felt rubbish. So absolutely fantastic. I kind of sped through day 1, but it's because I want to keep the video concise and because I've got a lot to talk about on day 2. Day 2 was a big changing point for me, for my future I think, and just for my training in general. It's a big decision, but I have changed gyms. Moved from Simply Gym to Dorks Gym in Newport. No hate on Simply, it served my purpose for as long as I've needed it to. It's a very good price point, it's very good, well equipped, new, clean, well looked after. But I've just kind of outgrown it. The plates are quite large, so the stronger I get, the less I can, well, you can always fit the same amount on the bar, but I struggle. I start filling out the bar. That obviously then changes the aspect of the lift and how it works. And then on top of that, the bars are kind of like going smooth. There's no real knurling on them. So, you set it for a deadlift and it kind of takes you out of it because you know that you've got to maybe work a little bit harder than you would have on your grip. When you've got a knurled bar, a well-knurled bar, you grip it and you know that there's no slip, there's no slide, it's locked in, and if you drop it, it's because your hands are too weak. I've dropped very light, I say very light, lighter reps in Simply, not really because my forearms or my hands were hurting, but just because it was almost like an axle in terms of its smoothness. Like I could not get my hands, the bar just slid, it wouldn't dig in like it would with a knurling. So yeah, I've got big plans for this year as it's been previously documented. got some big totals I want to hit, and a calibrated plates, combo rack, stiff bar, knurling. That's going to get me there. It's a step up, and they're going to get me going in the right place. So we went here, first session in, we did some deadlifts, and for all of my whinging about how bad Simply's bars are, the bar here also felt rubbish. Not because it's a bad bar, but because I'm not used to having a well-knurled bar in my hands, and it felt like I was trying to grab 1,000 Stanley knives. It was absolutely sharp as hell, and it just hurt. But in a good way, I guess, because it means that I'm actually feeling the bar and I'm actually doing what I need to do instead of holding on for dear life. So yeah, 5 sets of 5, 187.5. The movement was fine. My hands were sore, but I'll get used to that, I'm sure. Long pause bench, then 95 kilos, 3 sets, 5 reps. These felt really buttery. It's not overly heavy, but my shoulder wasn't hurting. I could get my leg drive cinched in properly because it's a nice proper powerlifting pad. It's not slippery, it's wider. My leg drive actually felt like it was working for me rather than against me this time. Moved very well. I was very, very happy with this. And then straight into pause safety squat bar at 155 kilos, and these were, oh my god, these were fantastic again. It felt heavy on my back, but I think that was just by virtue of the fact that it's a better safety squat bar, which may sound stupid, but the pads were pads, and it put me in a position that I don't think I've used with a safety squat bar before. And I think I was just obviously tired from the deadlift and the bench, but it didn't whip, it wasn't bending and flopping and moving. It actually held the weight at 155 kilos, and I know the one I've used in Simply Gym would struggle at that weight. I think they're only rated to about 150 like load weight, where I'm sure obviously if you put more on it won't break, but it does start to misbehave. And then we moved on to some low rows. These were supposed to be like a wide grip row, but I had the new gym feels. They've got mag handles. I love a mag handle. I love the way they feel. So I put these on. I will be using these more for pull downs than my rows, because I get to use a choice of equipment on my pull downs, whereas my rows they should be wide grip. So a 1 week mishap, and then we'll go back to it. Absolutely loving sessions in this gym. They will continue to go on through this weekend in the future. Just want these vibes to continue. It's really, I'm another week on recording this, so I can look back with fondness and say that Moving Gym has been a great choice. It's, touch wood, never that busy when I turn up. I seem to always be able to get onto a rack, and I almost always seem to be able to get calibrated plates. They are limited in the gym, but it seems that with such a low member cap and a club mentality, that it doesn't really matter. There's enough plates to go around, but there never seems to be anybody using them when I get there anyway. So it is a really nice feel. Day 3 then we had pin squats. These took a lot of feeling out just because it's a new rack. I didn't know what height I needed for my squat. I didn't know what height I needed for the pins. So it was only 3 sets of 5 at 165 kilos, but it took me all 3 sets plus my warm-ups to get to where I wanted to be. They moved fine though. It felt great. I didn't even pick a power bar. I was a little bit scared to actually pick a power bar because I don't want to be clanging a more expensive bar against the rack, particularly if I kind of get fatigued and lose the control in any way. It's not that it's heavy, but I just don't want to break a nice bar. I have seen other people since this use nice bars doing that. We'll see how I get on, maybe not. The jet engine's taken off again. But yeah, they moved absolutely fine. I really did enjoy that. We did some Spotto bench then, 2.5 kilos up from the week before. I think that put me at about 85, maybe 87.5 kilos. I can't remember, but we were in and around that region. It felt fine. It felt really good. I felt like I was in control of the weight. I was able to bring it down, hold it, push it back up, get where I needed to go. So very, very comfortable with that. Some single arm dumbbell rows. We did 5 sets of 8, at 32.5 kilos. They're not heavy rows, but they were really slow, really controlled, exaggerated the stretch, really focused on the contraction, driving the elbow. And yeah, like, I'm doing a back exercise every session, as I'm sure it's kind of coming through, and my back feels sore. Not in pain, but like, I know that I'm working it all the time. So I think it is going to be big back time soon, and very, very happy with that. Finished with some core work, bird dogs as always, just getting them, rattling through them. And then we did some 2-count pause deadlifts. These were 182.5 kilos, so big weight really. Only 5 kilos off my actual deadlifts for that week. These were 3 sets of 5 reps again, and they felt great. It was heavy-ish in the hands, but actual body-wise, like, they moved fine. When I say heavy in the hands, it wasn't that I couldn't grip it, but again, it just, you knew that knurling was there. You could feel it kind of cinching in, but that's fine. That's, again, what I want. Then we did some rep bench, some touch and go, 4 sets of 8 at 95 kilos. And I mean, the pad really, again, like the setup, the leg drive, these felt great. And I've been wanting to get back to 100 kilos for 4x10, at least 1x10, but I used to be able to do 4x10 quite comfortably. So I want to get back there, and a 4x8 at 95 comfortably with reps in the tank definitely has me feeling that. Did some stiff leg deadlifts. These were 120 kilos, 3 sets of 6 reps. They weren't hard, and I really focused on getting my glutes back, getting the hinge really deep on this. And yeah, when I finish, my glutes are always on fire, my hamstrings feel sore, and I do get a little bit in the lower back as well. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, but I feel like I'm working, and I feel like I'm not doing them wrong, so that's obviously just where I feel them, I think. Did some pull downs. They were quite wide. I used mag grips, but the widest mag grips that you have, I'll probably go for the medium ones next time. 4 sets of 8. Again, a nice controlled eccentric and a nice contraction, elbows behind, and again, just really feeling that tightness. Then we did some triceps. There's a new dip machine I tried. Not a personal fan of it. I don't like the movement, and I didn't really feel like I felt like I was getting more chest and shoulders, and I tried various different kind of body angles and stuff. It just didn't feel great. I didn't enjoy it. I think I can get more out of an over the head rope extension. So yeah, I'll stick to that. I should have week 5 out pretty shortly after this. I may leave it a week just for a weekly upload instead of having to cram it in. It's been a good week so far. Done some really nice squatting, comfortable. Squatting out of a proper combo rack was stunning. It really felt almost like it was me again. I'm not going to say I'm back, but I'm feeling it. Bench, ridiculous. We did more stiff legs that day, which doing them one session after the other was pretty grim. Deadlifts have felt insane. Still hurting the hands, but I'm going to get there. And then there's pause squats instead of pins this week. Still on pause deadlifts. So yeah, keep an eye out for that video. That'll be really good. Excited for that. It's been a good time. So yeah, nice and quick, nice and concise, and yeah, we're all done.